We are all gathered, so I will call this regular meeting of the Operations Planning Committee to order for Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Welcome back after our summer break to everyone. We'll start off with the minutes from our June 17th meeting. I have read through them and they look okay to me. Does anyone have any edits for the minutes? Seeing none, could I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Steve moves. Jim seconds. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Okay, Steve, Jim. All right. So I will kick things off with my update. A couple of things. There are multiple discussions going on right now with 3 appropriations that we are having the Board of Finance and the RTM consider. The first of them pertains to 2 Parks and Rec projects, which I'll let Lori touch on. I just wanted to mention that we have prepared a video that explains those investments, as well as the Great Island investment that's also up for consideration. I'm going to be sending links to those presentations out with my newsletter on Friday. So anybody who wants to learn more about those investments and exactly what we're requesting and proposing, please take a look at those short videos, and that should explain everything that we are trying to do. I appreciate everybody's involvement in this. Several of us are on this video, but also members more broadly of the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and RTM. The latter 2 who have yet to meet on these appropriations. So I appreciate everybody taking the time to read these materials and get up to speed as to what we're doing. Next thing is a number of you have been interested in our sidewalk process. I spoke at some length about that with the RTM Public Works Committee last week. And so if you're interested in my more extended comments on that, please take a look at that video. It's on the Darien TV site. But in short, we hired a group called BSC Group to help us with that effort. It's going to start with refining criteria for sidewalk selection and prioritization, which I think will be an important bedrock for a resurrected pedestrian infrastructure advisory committee, which the Board of Selectmen does intend to form. That committee will have both these criteria as well as the guidance of the professional from BSC to help them as they do their work going forward to identify potential new sidewalk installations here in town. So more to come on all that, but just to let everyone know that that is definitely in progress. This past Sunday, I had a chance to attend the Darien Library's annual board meeting over at, no surprise, the library. I just want to give a shout out to Hutch Pegler and Kara Perrott, who is the executive director there, and Hutch is the board chair. It really was a first-rate affair, but more broadly, just kudos to everybody who is connected with the library, who serves on the library board, like Jill. It is just an amazing operation. It is well run. Their budgets are always well prepared. And I just can't say enough good things about our library. We are really fortunate to have them as a star asset here in town. And again, thank you to everybody involved. It's a terrific organization. And then
Number of years, by the way, they have a long history of outstanding service to the town, being very, very well run.
Yes. Yes, they do. Lastly, I participated in a focus group this morning along with Jim Palin with a group called School Leadership LLC. That is a group that's focused on trying to help identify the next superintendent for the Darien Public Schools. I just wanted to thank the Board of Education for organizing that. I know there are lots of groups who are going to be participating in discussions with them. I thought their questions and management of that was first rate, and I know the work they'll do is, I think, going to enhance your perspectives on how to make this important choice. So kudos to the Board of Ed for setting this up. Great idea. And again, sample size of 1, but I thought that discussion went great and certainly bodes well for a thorough process. So thank you for that. That is all I have on my list. Anyone have any questions for me? Okay, let's go to our state representative, Tracy Marmon.
Thank you so much. As maybe many people know, we're not in session right now, so things are a little bit quiet. We expect to go into special session, though, coming up at the end of October. I don't have the exact date yet, but they're looking at sometime the last 2 weeks of October. The reason for it is because we'll probably have to go back and do some budgetary things when we see how the federal government comes in with some of their funding. But my understanding is there could be other things that are piled on top of it. could be another.
So that's my only thought.
Yeah, I hear you. There are concerns with safety, especially, kids that are under 16 that don't know the rules of the road. Parents really need to dig in and teach them because they are allowed to be on the road. Unless it's unless it's the 26 inches and below seat.
Yeah, but you know, I didn't get my tape measure out for the couple of boys I had a word with. It's just they may have been actually legally, riding, quote unquote, but it's the decision making and it's if you're a driver yourself and in a car, you're just frightened that something will happen and you'll hit one of them by a mistake, and that is just, unacceptable.
Yeah, I know. I know it's really scary. I'm really excited that these kids have a good mode of transportation, but we do want them to be as safe as possible. I mean, drivers need to be aware of them as well. I mean, it's a shared road situation, so.
Yeah, Tracy, I also understand that certain types of golf carts are now legal on the roads, speeds up for roads with speed limit of no more than 25 miles an hour.
I think that's right, but I don't have the golf cart stuff right in front of me. We did that 2 years ago, so I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
Okay.
again, please, if you have questions, I spent a lot of time on that graphic and I think it's actually really good. It shows the different pictures because people don't know, like, oh, is this scooter or is this a bike or is this it kind of lays it all out for you.
Tracy, what address should folks go to get access to this flyer on e-bikes?
It is repmarra, repmarra.com.
Okay, terrific. I will include it in my newsletter on Friday. That's a great resource.
And I will say, so I put out an op-ed that came out on August 7th on this, but
Okay.
also our illustrious Jim Cameron, who is Darien TV, but also transportation guru, just had an article out as well, and he also points to this graphic for people.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah, and that's all I have for now, but certainly keep a look on my website for any issues on special session.
Okay, Tracy Mara, thank you very much. Next up, Jill McCammon, Board of Education.
Okay, thank you. Just looking at the website. Well, we're right at the start of school. We're just a couple weeks in. It's been a great start this year. We have an interim superintendent, Dr. Eric Byrne, as you all know. But we're off and running, and it's going very well, I'm pleased to say. We've had a couple of parents' nights last week and Monday night. We have one tonight at the middle school. Those have been very well received. It's always a joy to get in and see all the parents and for them to have an opportunity to meet teachers and all of the staff who very diligently and thoughtfully support our schools. Today, of course, was a different kind of day. There was a social media, a post on social media that caused a lot of concern that needed to be investigated. So our tremendous thanks to the Darien High School staff and the Darien Police Department for their diligence in reviewing what turned out not to be a credible threat, but did need to be looked at. So our thanks to both of those groups, for their diligence, but also for their communication between one another. As John mentioned, we are in the middle of a search for our permanent superintendent. Thank you, John and Jim, for attending one of our focus groups. We've had a number between yesterday and today. There is also a survey that is going out for any community member who would like to fill it out. And based on the results of interviews with the board, focus groups, with various community constituents, including just a general focus group last night, and the survey, we'll be putting together a series of specifications for what we think superintendent for Darien should look like, and we'll be voting on that in our first October meeting, which is on or about October 15th. That's all I have. Thank you all.
Okay, questions for Jill?
Update on the school construction
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yes, our schools.
for those of us who live close by.
Yeah. Well, our schools opened. The new portions of the schools are open in all three, Henley, Holmes, and Royal. And that's wonderful. We're really excited. It is new construction, so it looks beautiful, but there's still a few things that we're having to, adjust as communities move into them. But again, they look beautiful and they function beautifully. The construction will continue through next summer, but most of the construction that we'll see over the coming year is inside of the building, inside of our classrooms that need to be resized. The project continues on budget and on time.
Terrific. Other questions? Okay, next up, Board of Finance, Mr. Palin.
Thanks, John. I'll echo what you said. I thought the focus group meeting with the folks that are collecting feedback on the search for the next superintendent was great. As John and I, we had Malin from my board was there, as well as a few representatives of the RTM, I believe, Education Committee. Very excited, Jill, and I think all the work that your board is putting into this search, I think will hopefully yield a great result. Yeah. In terms of the Board of Finance, we were originally set to have a meeting tonight. While the number of items on our agenda was going to be relatively light, there were three, as John had mentioned, large capital projects, or I should say, more complicated capital projects that have been around for a while. And so members of our board have a few more questions and some information that we're looking for, which John, you and Lori, I know staff were all kind of helping us pull together. So we've decided to move our meeting till next Tuesday, and then that'll become a special meeting. But those three ones are the Weed Beach project at just over $2 million, the Pear Tree Point project, and the beginning of the planning for Great Island. I think our board is doing a lot of work with all the materials that have been prepared to kind of think about those projects sort of by themselves and as the projects that they are, but also think about them in the context of what does it mean in context with the other capital projects are out there, kind of looming, if you will, and we know that are on the horizon and how that fits into our overall budget. So, stay tuned. We're doing some more work this week, and I think we, next Tuesday night, I expect to have a fruitful discussion. And John and Lori, I appreciate you both all making yourselves available for next week. You guys have been a big help here. Otherwise, not a lot to report from the Board of Finance side. I will say, John, one thing that I've noticed, and I've had a ton of residents mention to me, is now that everybody's back from Labor Day and the commutation to the city has picked up, the Norotan Heights parking lot by the train station, the repaving and relining that they did is nothing short of spectacular. It's a lot more organized. It looks great. The width of the spots are great, and it's as a commuter 3 or 4 days a week, it's I just want a huge kind of shout out to the staff and to the contractors that did that.
Yeah, they did a first-rate job. Ed, Darren, and everybody who focuses on paving, they're total stars. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I think it's a great example of all the money we do collect, if you will, from that, from parking fees and so forth. This is a great example of kind of how we put it back, how we reinvest it back into the station. So,
okay, terrific. Any questions for Jim? All right, next up, Jeremy Ginsburg, who is sitting in for Planning and Zoning Commission Chairman Steve Olvani.
Yes, Steve sends his regards. He had a personal conflict, but he sent over what he wanted covered. So here we go. The restaurant Wonder has been approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission to go into where Duchess is at 306 Post Road, with the presumption being that Duchess will leave and Wonder will renovate and move in. You may recall that Wonder was looking to go at the corner of Dickinson and Post, and that was not received well. So I think they found a much better spot where they can have their traffic coming and going. So Dutch's been around for a while, but they've had a very nice run, been here about 50 years. New fire training building has been approved for the training center at the upper level of the town transfer station. The building will include a classroom for training as well as a separate area for turnout gear. The Plan of Conservation and Development workshop held last Thursday, September 4th at the Mathers Center. was attended by about 50 residents. Darien TV covered it, so you might see it in their on TV in their schedule. H&H, Hardesty Hanover, the consultant, will next be meeting with the Planning and Zoning Commission at its October 14th meeting, and they'll be discussing the workshop results, table of contents going forward, and then an updated schedule covering through the rest of the plan process. Wanted to give you a brief update on developments now underway. Heights Crossing, which is across the street from the Norotan Heights train station. All the residential units will be complete by the end of this month. They've already had quite a few people move in. The first floor commercial spaces will continue to open over the next 3 to 5 months. There's already a number of new commercial spaces. John, you saw them. Sharkey's Haircuts, a liquor store, P-Volve, which is an exercise place, and the Goddard School, which has been a big benefit to the community and is doing great. I just got a wonderful tour, very informative. On the other end of town, the Cloud 10 car wash at the former Bertucci site is underway, with completion expected about this time next year. 2 projects about to get underway. 3 Parklands Drive, demolition is complete, and the project will be completed in 2027. And the Thorndale Circle redevelopment project, replacing the office park. Demolition is going to begin in a week or 2, and they also expect about 2 years to complete that project. The last item is that an application's been received for the project to be called Heights Corner, which is at the corner of Edgerton Street and Heights Road, the 2 brick buildings and the parking lot, which have been there for many, many, many years. They're going to be taken down over the next few weeks, and the proposal will have a public hearing before the Planning and Zoning Commission on a zone change related to that. The hearing will be September 30th, and the site plan, the building, the layout, the design, that hearing will be October 7th. So it's sure to be a busy fall for the Planning and Zoning Commission.
And that's multifamily, Jeremy, again, or you don't know?
It's a multi-story building. I believe at this point, the proposal is multifamily on the upper floors, but who knows where we may end up. Again, the commission has not even heard the request yet.
Okay. And 3 Parklands, how many units is that?
57.
57, okay. And with the new purchaser, they, as I recall, had is still living up to the commitment to maintain the access to Selleck's Woods Park. And
actually, that's a very good point, Lori. Part of their recently approved revised design changes that a little bit. I know Jen Fava reviewed it, was very excited. It's a much better design. So
Okay.
It moves the entrance to the park closer to where it is now. It allows for better handicapped access. So she was very pleased and sent a letter of support saying, oh yeah, this design is way better.
Okay,
So-
do you have anything you could send me on that?
Sure, we'll send it
Only
right out.
because, we have our meeting tomorrow night and Jen's at a conference this week, so
I'll get it out to you, definitely.
she won't be there to chat about it, so that would be super. Okay.
And then as Tracy mentioned, we're going to keep our eyes open for that special session of the legislature. John, I know we're going to talk about suggestions, ideas, thoughts, potentially to make that bill better.
Terrific. Okay. Questions for Jeremy? Okay, next up, Lori, Parks and Recreation.
Okay, let me just look back to my notes. Okay. Well, it's
Yeah,
been
you're going to take me out of order, John?
Oh, sorry. You're on my list, but Seth, if you'd like to go.
No, I don't want to interrupt. Lori, go for it. No, I'll go afterward.
Go ahead, Seth. What-
Okay, so I guess I'm going. Okay, so as John and Jim referenced, we are in the process of requesting the bonding approval for both the Weed Beach and the Pear Tree projects. The Board of Selectmen did approve it a week ago Monday, and both were approved last night by the RTM Budget and Finance Committee. So next stop is the Board of Finance on Tuesday night, followed by the RTM Parks and Rec Committee on Wednesday night, and then the full RTM on Monday, the 29th. The lowest qualified bidders for the 2 projects ended up being the same firm, which, you know, people seem to think can work out nicely. And pending, approval, we would be going for, the selectmen will be creating a building committee, and we would be breaking ground in early November with completion of both projects for delivery in May to the public to enjoy enhanced beaches next summer of 2026. So we've been working very diligently, fielding, a whole lot of questions and responding to the community, which I expect will continue through the next week. But Jim, any questions you get from your board or whatever, to the extent if you can get those to us sooner rather than later, that's certainly helpful. And John, you've been terrific in supporting the effort on both of these projects as well. Annually, our Parks Commission will go out into the parks. This is to help inform us of the conditions of a park against the standards of care, as we call it, that we like to see them maintained. We visit some as a group, and then members of the commission go out to the other parks individually. Our assessment for this year, that was done last Sunday. The assessment is being compiled by one of our commission members, and we'll be discussing that at our meeting tomorrow night. It helps inform the budget process. As I mentioned, Jen favored, we used to go more October, November, and Jen asked us to accelerate the process because she's already starting to build the budget for fiscal 27. So she felt that it would be helpful for us to get out earlier and start thinking about what items we may need for, both capital and, operational dollars to maintain the parks to good standards for our community. Tomorrow night, we'll also have a preliminary discussion of the park's usage fees. Historically, that was done later as well, and we've scooted that forward. We won't vote on that tomorrow night, but Jen has left some suggestions in her absence this week, and at least we'll have some preliminary discussions around what parks fees should look like for next year. The last thing, and I know John's touched on it, we mentioned in the past, is we are expecting shortly the consultants' reports on ADA, the town properties, both parks and other town properties, very shortly. I guess, John, you said you'll have that delivered to you for the September 29th meeting, so that's going to be a very busy night. So we are waiting anxiously to see what is in those reports, and I'm sure that the commission will be working with the selectmen and other groups in the community to go through what sounds like it's going to be a very lengthy document and start thinking about how we prioritize and build that into the budget planning process for the coming and future years.
Okay.
That's I've got. Any questions?
Okay. And finally, Mr. Seth Morton, RTM moderator.
A pleasure as always. We have a RTM meeting coming up on the 29th of September. Rules Committee met on September 8th, and we will be putting forward to the RTM recommendation for the reappointments of Carl Jung and William Jessup to the 5 Mile River Commission. It's required by law that the legislature propose and then the state actually approves the nominations. We have the 3 capital items for Great Island, Pear Tree Beach Park, and Weed Beach on the agenda. We put those on the agenda, the RTM, in anticipation that they'll be approved. If they're not, we'll just take them off. But we understand that the committees involved, both the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance, were looking favorably on them. So in anticipation of that, we put them on the agenda. Only question marks I've heard are the trails at Weed Beach, and the F&B committee will be looking at that along with a Park and Rec, and well, they'll come up with whatever recommendation they have on it. But that's it for the next meeting.
Seth, when does the Park and Rec Committee meet for?
It's a week from tomorrow, John.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday night.
6 Wednesday, got it. Okay, terrific. Any other questions for Seth? Okay, that is all we have for our agenda today. Could I please get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Jeremy moves. Second is
So-
Lori seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.